There it is. There it is. There it is. Welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show. I'm Anthony Totri. And, when we're doing a show this late at night, usually it means we're doing a Arizona State basketball postgame show. But we're not calling those Arizona State basketball postgame shows any longer. We're just going straight into a walk of shame because that's exactly what Arizona State basketball is. It's a shame. It's a damn shame that Arizona State fans have to continue to watch this because this is what they've been served this season thus far in non-conference play. Arizona State falling to Northwestern 65-46. Now, look, when Arizona State finds ways to play decent basketball, we do bottle service. We do heat index. We do fun things on this show. We're not going to do bottle service. We're not going to do heat index because there wasn't a player that deserved it. There wasn't three others that you could talk about as trending up, right? We just couldn't do it. By any means, Arizona State basketball was putrid tonight. And we can talk about the offense. We could talk about the inefficiency at the free throw line. We could talk about this team's lack of size in the interior. But this wouldn't be the first time that we're talking about it. This is how many games in are we? And we've been having the same conversation game after game after game. You saw it against San Diego when they lost by 5. San Diego's not a good basketball team. Arizona State lost by 5. We saw it against TCU. They were a 14, lost by 20. And then you get to tonight's game, and Arizona State didn't show up at all. They had 13 points in the first half? High school team. That's high school numbers put up. And you're playing in the Suns arena? Are you kidding me? That's just unacceptable, man. That's just unacceptable. We've got Divanal in the chat, too many turnovers. We've got Danny in the chat. If Bobby doesn't fix this in the next few games, he is on the hot seat. And then Shane the Diefenbeef himself saying, nice hair. We love you and we appreciate you. Shane Diefenbach. Jacob, if we could, let's go ahead and put a poll in the chat. Is Bobby Hurley on the hot seat? Yes or no? Let us know in the chat what you think. Because look, we'll get into the game in a second, but I want to talk about something that they were talking about on the broadcast that makes me want to have this conversation about Bobby Hurley, right? Because this is where you're at in the season. This is where you're at now with the coaching regime ahead of moving to the Big 12. You need to have that conversation. Is Bobby Hurley the guy that's going to lead the charge for you into the basketball conference, into the conference that has Kansas, into the conference that has Kansas State, into the conference that's going to have the Arizona Wildcats, that's going to have an up-and-coming Colorado basketball team? Is Bobby Hurley the guy? I don't know right now. I honestly don't know. If you're the new athletic director moving forward, would you do it? Like, is there a whole lot of incentive to continue with the trend of Bobby Hurley at this point? JJ says it right now in the chat. We need help. This program needs help. And look, this is the state of college basketball right now. This is what they were talking about on the broadcast, right? Is they were crediting Northwestern with that roster and how it's built. And they were crediting other collegiate basketball teams across the nation that have found ways to win. And they've done so with the current state of college basketball, where the majority of teams are built off transfers, right? There are not a whole lot of players year over year that return to their university. Case in point, Arizona State. 3 players, Jemiah Neal, Frankie Collins, and Alonzo Gaffney. Now look at those 3 players. And let's be real about those 3 players right now. Frankie Collins at times has been the best player on this team. And I can confidently say Frankie Collins is the best player on this team as it stands right now. I think Adam Miller has the potential to go out and be the best player. He wasn't that tonight. I think Frankie Collins is the best basketball player on the Arizona State roster. Now, the other 2, Jemiah Neal has the potential to go out there and be a great player. We haven't seen it this season. Alonzo Gaffney, I got nothing. I got nothing for Alonzo. Alonzo is a great shot blocker. Other than that, Alonzo Gaffney finds his role in the starting five for a couple reasons, mainly because of what he does, I believe, in the locker room for Arizona State as one of those returners. And then also because he's really all the size they have. Sean Phillips is still hurt. So what do you do? What do you do? Now, that's not a question that fans should have to answer, but that's how this roster was constructed, right? The roster was constructed knowing that when it's time for a game, your size is your 7-footer, Sean Phillips, who doesn't have a whole lot of game experience, and your other option is a Alonzo Gaffney who can be a liability, who most of the season has been a liability. Now, getting back to that original point of college basketball and the rosters mainly to this day and age are built off transfers. Okay, now you look at Bobby Hurley over the last couple of years. You look at the teams as he's built over the last couple of years, and you ask that question of, can he do more? Can Arizona State basketball be more with Bobby Hurley at the helm? Well, this year, who'd you get for transfers? You got Ace Wolf. This is the second game of action. He's split. You saw a lot in game one, not a whole lot in game two. Okay, who else you get? Sean Phillips, hurt. Zane Meeks, hurt. Bryson Long, you're barely playing. Brian Salabunge, who else? Right? Like, Kamari Lands, he was hot to start. He's gone missing offensively since then. So you ask yourself, Jose Perez, and that was a late addition. That was a real late addition. Okay, how do you feel about those transfers? Clearly, it's not turning into a whole lot. Arizona State on a 3-game skid right now, and now you're heading to conference play. What about the year prior? Okay, now you're looking at those transfers. You got the Cambridge brothers. Those were great guys. You weren't able to retain them. Warren Washington. I'd say that was probably a win of a transfer. Okay, what about the year before that? Now we're talking Marion Jackson. Can Bobby Hurley be the guy to coach Arizona State to a tournament after tournament after tournament team? That question, the answer to that question in years past, before the transfer portal, before NIL became giant, was probably, yeah, was probably absolutely. At this point, you've got 3 seasons, almost 3 full seasons. You're about to start conference play. Do you feel confident with Bobby Hurley leading the charge into the Big 12? I'm not going to answer, but I'm going to say the new athletic director has very little incentive to roll with Hurley into next season. And let's be real. If you're an Arizona State fan, why would you want to? This is where you're at. You just got embarrassed. Again, you lost by 19. You lost to 20, or you lost by 20 to TCU, and you lost by 5 to San Diego. You can't keep your talent, which I can't put too much on Bobby Hurley for that, because there are college basketball teams all over the nation that are losing talent at a rapid rate, because this is exactly the state of college athletics. Like, that's just where you're at. I can't put the fact that he's not able to retain talent. Yes, he can recruit, but tonight the freshmen weren't crazy. You're not going out there and getting like stars. Let's be real. Let's be real. The question is Bobby Hurley in the hot seat after Arizona State's blowout loss to Northwestern? Yeah, he is. He absolutely is. That's just the way it has to be. Donald in the chat, $4.99 super chat. I'm drunk, so since I messed up what I was trying to say, hashtag fire Bobby. Look, Donald he's a PHNX diehard through and through, man. I've never seen anybody that comes through the way Donald does when it comes to actually getting some of these guys fired. Hey, Donald's got a track record. He got Bo Baldwin fired with a trend. So we'll see what he's able to do with Bobby Hurley. Again, it's a unique scenario because you are starting to learn more about college coaches across all sports, not just basketball, but football, baseball, hockey, etc. Because it is a new era of college athletics. And right now, Arizona State basketball is failing. That's what it is. It's failing. It's failing itself. It's failing the fans. It's failing the university. It's failing the players. How is it failing the players? Well, you go out there and you look at specifically the last 3 games for Arizona State. It's the way we started the show. What have they failed at? What have they been inefficient at? What have they been unable to do? Well, they've been unable to score since the opening tip on night one. Unable to score. That hasn't gotten much better. Definitely hasn't gotten better against real competition. They have been unable to crash the glass. That hasn't changed. And they haven't been able to make their free throws. As far as I can tell, it's the same thing. That's where Arizona State is. It's point blank. And it sucks because for Arizona State fans, this is like, you're not going to see it get better throughout the rest of the season. You're just not. That's college basketball, and that's where this team is at. They don't look like a team. They don't look like they know how to play with one another. And you're at a point in the year where if you can't play through all of non-conference play, you can't look like a team, you're going up against much better competition in conference play. Now, thankfully, Arizona State gets to start with Stanford and Cal. Those Arizona games, man, they're going to be the basketball version of 70-7. And if you don't think so, you are in for a rude awakening when those games happen. Because Arizona State doesn't belong in the same court, let alone the same arena as the Arizona Wildcats right now. Let's go ahead and get to Zachary's super chat. $10 super chat from Zach saying, I tweeted in April of 2020 that Bobby fucking Hurley is a 5-star recruiter, but a 3-star coach, and that I was tired of ASU men's basketball underperforming. People got mad. Stand on business, Zach, because you're absolutely right, man. That's the truth. And 5-star recruiter, he can recruit. 3-star coach. I mean, I don't see any lies right now. Do you? Did anybody else see any lies in the chat? They gave him an extension. He's supposed to be starting as the men's basketball coach next season as this team moves to the Big 12. Mind you, the Big 12 is a lot better at basketball than the Pac-12 is. A lot better. So much so that they got the best program. They added Arizona. Can you imagine? This team had to play Arizona twice and play Kansas twice. Can you imagine? Has to play Houston twice? No, dude. Those are going to be bad. Those are not going to be good. They got to be Baylor twice? Big 12 basketball with Arizona State, if it continues down the track that it's currently on, you're going to want to close your eyes. You are going to want to close your eyes and just listen to my sweet voice tell you that it is officially time for By the Numbers, presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, guys. Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers. Obviously, the only one that matters from tonight's game is that final score. Northwestern coming out on top, 65-46. You look at the way these two teams shot from the field tonight. Northwestern, 47.3%. Arizona State, just 31.4%. And the three-point numbers were just abysmal. Arizona State shooting 16.7% from behind the arc. The Wildcats shooting 40.9%. You look at the free throw numbers. Northwestern, just 4 of 9. Arizona State, 11 of 18. Then the rebound numbers, nothing new here. Arizona State getting out-rebounded by Northwestern, 33-43. Now, look, normally I pick a number, ask somebody to pick a number that stands out most. But for me, the free throw numbers, it's a constant. You can always bet Arizona State's going to miss some free throws. Always. That's what they do. You miss 7 tonight. Thankfully, for Arizona State fans, this wasn't like the San Diego game where they lost by 5, could have made a few free throws, and then we're talking about a win. 7 points here, you're still losing by 12. So that number doesn't go crazy. But what I'll tell you is the most important number, the most frightening number, is that 3-point percentage. You're shooting in a college basketball game 16% from behind the arc. 3 of 18. They took 18 threes tonight. 3 of them went in. Now, I know it's different. I know it's different. You could throw me on a high school basketball court right now. Give me some slides. Give me some shoes. I don't need to stretch. I don't got to warm up. Of course, there's no defense. You give me 18 threes, I'm sinking 4. I'm sinking 4. I promise. I promise you I'm sinking 4. Now, again, I know there's no defense. I know it's different. But at what point is it no longer an excuse, right? At what point do you stop giving credit to opposing defenses? At what point do you stop, referencing this issue for the team as they haven't played a whole lot together? At what point do we stop using those excuses and we just say that this team isn't a tournament team, that this team is a bottom of the Pac-12 team? At what point? Because that's the reality of it. When I'm getting texts from people at the game, when I'm getting texts from Jacob, when I'm getting texts from X, Y, and Z talking about, wow, this team, it's tough to watch. Calling it the nonsense. Because I got no offense. At what point are the excuses not really excuses anymore, right? At what point do you actually put the blame where it belongs? It's a question for the fans, and that's the question for the administration. Donald with another $1.99 super chat. The fact Bobby has Anthony mad in his own home. I know, man. Look, man, I'm just trying to I was excited. It was a good day for ASU fans. If you're a football fan, you saw the early signing period show. You got excited about all the recruits, all the commits that the Sun Devils got, that Kenny is getting, right. And now you turn on that basketball game, and thankfully they didn't give you an Arizona State special. And for those of you that are new to ASU basketball, the Arizona State special is we're gonna reel you in. We're gonna reel you in, so you got to pay attention to the last 4 minutes of this game. We're gonna go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We're gonna make it close. We might win, then we might lose. Or another Arizona State special is we'll start getting blown out. Then they'll find a way to come close and make it a game, and then lose or win. Right now, you're doing more of the losing than you are winning. And again, this team has talented individuals. They have talented individuals, and we'll talk about those individuals in just a second. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at BetMGM. Man, I hope if you're an ASU fan that you at least made a little bit of money on this game. You deserve it, right? You absolutely deserve it. I was telling Jacob before we even got the show started that I decided to place a nice little juicy parlay on some NBA basketball. And I haven't been betting too much on the NBA. I like to stick to the NFL because I feel like I know a little bit more. Guys, I came so damn close to hitting a bet on BetMGM today. Clint Capella, you owe me some money because you needed just one more rebound. Just one more rebound, and that parlay's cashing. But if you want to do the opposite of what I'm doing, which is losing, and you want to win, do it over at BetMGM. Guys, they've got a great offer for you, especially if you haven't already signed up. Download the BetMGM Sportsbook app on iOS or Android, or visit BetMGM.com. Sign up and deposit at least $10 into your BetMGM Sportsbook account. Place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if that bet loses. And if that bet does lose, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. Again, sign up for BetMGM and use that bonus code PHNX. Place your first BetMGM Sportsbook wager through BetMGM Sportsbook mobile app of at least $10. And if that bet loses, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. Check out the show notes for full details. And now listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario.
Look, everybody in the chat talking about how Bobby Hurley's got me mad at home. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's not even that I'm mad at home. It's just that I'm like disappointed, And it's like, I want to describe it as if you're disappointed in your son. I don't have a child. So I don't know what that is necessarily like, but I imagine it's what it's like when, again, it's not that I'm not mad. It's I'm disappointed, but it's a step further. It's like you're disappointed. Your kid knows that you're disappointed. And instead of doing the right thing, they opt to just make it a little bit worse, right? You know what I'm talking about? Where a kid will do something that they know is wrong. You tell them it's wrong, and they go do something that is, just a minor inconvenience from that. And you're like, dude, what are you doing? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with ASU basketball. But thankfully, I got to tell you guys about some Burrows, which makes my life a whole hell of a lot easier. A new PHNX partner, guys. They are a family-owned and operated and was voted Arizona's most loved Mexican restaurant. They got easy party platters to feed a crowd and an all-new taco bar to impress your amigos. And with margaritas to go, you'll be the guac star of the season. Man, I know Max has a smile and had a smile when he wrote that, guys. Go check out their newest locations in Goodyear, Peoria, and I-17 in Joe Max, or visit sunburrows.com to find one near you. Let Sunburrows cater all your holiday fiestas, big or small. Order online or find one near you by visiting sunburrows.com. Season's eatings with Sunburrows. All right. Like I said earlier in the show, normally we do bottle service, which is an award we give to whoever played the best on Arizona State any given night. Normally we do Heat Index, where we talk about 3 Arizona State Sun Devils who had themselves good evenings. Tonight, nobody's getting that, dude. Nobody's getting that. Arizona State scored 46 points tonight. 13 in the first half. You scored 13 in the first half. You're lucky we're doing a show. Frankie Collins had 10 of those points. You minus Frankie Collins tonight, they got doubled up. That's where Arizona State was at tonight. Jemiah Neal, 7 points. Gaffney, another goose egg. Jose Perez, 6 points. Adam Miller, 6 points. No bench scoring. The bench has been abysmal all season in terms of scoring. They have not been good. Let's look at the bench points. 17 bench points for Arizona State tonight. Kamari, no points. Braylon, 0. Bryson, 3. Stella Bungay, 7. And Akil, the freshman, was 7. Nobody else is doing anything. It's like everybody's passing the ball waiting for Frankie or Ace to go for 20. And if they don't, Arizona State's bound to lose. Hell, Adam went for 20 against TCU and they lost. So where are you at? Where are you at? Because I got mad. I got mad after TCU. If you listen to that TCU postgame show, I got upset. And I kept it real. Now I'm past upset. Now I'm like, what are we doing? This is the product that you're putting out there. These are like several practices. And this is the result. This is the product that is put out there. It's not good enough. It is not good enough. And I am so tired. I am beyond exhausted to have to continuously, post-game after post-game show, talk about how the product isn't good enough, how the offense is abysmal, how the free throw shooting is embarrassing, how the three-point percentages are mind-boggling. I am tired of it. I'm absolutely exhausted. And I'm sure everybody else that watches these games trying to do their alumni a solid, trying to support their alma mater of Arizona State is exhausted as well. Right? You're fed up. That's where you're at. That's where you're at if you're an Arizona State fan. You're fed up. And I think you're even more fed up because there's hope around the football program. After a 3-win season, there's hope around that. You're fed up because the hockey program's doing something. You're fed up because volleyball looked good in the postseason. Where's men's basketball? Where's the 2017 team that was number 3 in the nation and a win away from being number 1? Where was the team that had Trey Holder, Shannon Evans, Cody Justice, and Remy Martin off the bench that was making everybody look silly in non-conference play? Where is that? That's not this team. This team isn't even a Dayton team. Not from what I've seen. And there could be somebody. There could be somebody in the administration. There could be somebody on the staff. There could be a player. There could be whoever. And they could tell me, hey, man, you're being too harsh. You're being too harsh with, the team. Am I? Or is this just the reality? Is this the reality of the team? This is where they're at. This is what they're going to be. Sometimes you get teams together and they've reached their potential. Maybe these guys just don't have the chemistry that Bobby thought they would have. And this is the team you have. This is the product you have. A team that puts up 13 points at half. A team whose highest scorer has 10 points. Maybe that's where you're at, where you're shooting, 16% from three-point land? It's abysmal, man. It's abysmal. And Bobby Hurley should absolutely be on a hot seat for this. Absolutely. And Bobby knows, look, Bobby would probably be the first to tell you that this team needs to play better. Now, saying that they need to play better and figuring out a way to get this offense to work is another thing. Because it's not working. You saw it at the tail end last season. You've actually not even the tail end. If Shane is still in here, he could speak to it. The offense hasn't looked good in a while. The only reason it really looked good last year at times was because Dez was just a freak. Dez was hitting shots that you shouldn't take, period, and they were going in. DJ was providing you with 13 points. Frankie was doing it sometimes. Jemiah coming off the bench from time to time. That was your offense. Jemiah hasn't taken the step so far this season to be the quote-unquote guy. This is only the second game we've seen from Adam Miller. He's got a lot of potential. And Frankie Collins he's doing what he can. He's doing what he can. He's just not getting enough help. That's true. That's the truth. Frankie Collins, good basketball player, not getting enough help from his team. Adam Miller, good basketball player, not getting enough help from his team. Everybody else, where you at? Jose Perez, again, 6 points tonight. Jose's been pretty good about getting to the charity stripe all season long. Didn't necessarily do a whole lot of scoring tonight. And that's why you see Arizona State only scoring 46 points. And that's why we're here without a bottle service. That's why we're here without a heat index. But let's go ahead and get to one segment we do have. Let's go ahead and do aftertaste. Jacob and everybody in the chat, what exactly was pumped into your gullet this evening? That's just one I love to use. What was pumped into your gullet? Down in the chat, as a new fan, I'm disappointed.
Straight gasoline.
No shot. Gasoline? That's what we're rolling with on aftertaste?
Yeah, it made my tummy hurt.
Gasoline will do more than just make your tummy hurt, Jacob. It might do some awful things to you. So that's what we're going with. We're going unleaded or diesel?
Like 80. We're talking like 87. Like you know how you can get the 3 different octanes, and there's like low octane, and then there's premium. Yeah, this was low octane.
We're going unleaded. We're going just cheap gas, not even high quality stuff. Oh my gosh, Donald in the chat. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Do you know how to pronounce that? A Fernandad shot? Do you know what that is, Jacob?
No, I don't know. I can Google it.
A Fernandad shot. Yeah, if you could Google that. Ew. Donald says, maybe a swig of dip spit. Ben says Everclear straight.
No. When you look up Ferdinand shot, when you look up Ferdinand shot, it comes up with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand.
Oh my god. That's the aftertaste? That's the aftertaste, right?
I think maybe he's talking about an alcohol. I don't know.
I'm sure he is. Oh God, gasoline for you. What does this taste like? This tastes like, it's because I'm actually, you know what? Jacob, I'll hold for a second. I'll tell you what it's going to taste like.
I think Totri is headed to go get a shot because this man's literally, yeah.
It's what it tastes like for everybody on audio. This right here is about a third of a handle left of Tito's. And I hate vodka. I hate vodka with a passion. I hate this violently. It's disgusting. And I can never hold it down. And that's what Arizona State basketball is. It's disgusting. And I don't want any part of it at all. That's what this is. It's filthy. And I'm not taking a shot. I refuse to take a shot.
Come on.
I refuse to take a pull of vodka right now, dude. It's 8:58 on a Wednesday. You're making me take a Tito shot? I got a smoothie right here.
You put it in the smoothie.
Let me just, hell no. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, that's violent, bro. That's some violent stuff. How many likes are we at right now? If we hit a certain number of likes, I'll take a poll.
We are at 5 likes.
Oh, guys, we're gonna have to. How many people do we have watching right now?
27. There was like 32 votes on the poll earlier. 75% of people said that Bobby Hurley's on the hot seat. By the way,
if we can get 30 likes on this, I'll take a poll of that. But it's a Wednesday, and they just lost by 19. I'm not taking polls just for taking polls' sake. Okay, that's what the aftertaste of this game is. It's a nasty pull of Tito's vodka from a bottle that's been sitting on top of the fridge for about 3 months. That is the aftertaste of this game. So pretty much unleaded gasoline. That's pretty much what it is, right? Jacob, let's go ahead, take a look at the Bobby board presented by the one, the only Arizona Lottery. Don't forget to get out, buy your holiday scratchers. And now for the first time this season, we've gotten 3 straight L's. Dude, things were looking solid after that first row, after that SF game. And now you hear San Diego by 5, TCU by 20, Northwestern by 19. And now you got Stanford and Cal. They're must-win games. They're must-win games now for Bobby Hurley. You lose 5 in a row?
Yeah. Don't forget that SMU game was like a crazy comeback.
And then you got Utah, and then you got Colorado. 2 teams they're doing things right now. 2 teams, like honestly, right now, if the NCAA tournament were to start now, the 3 Pac-12 teams that would probably make it are Arizona, Utah, and Colorado. Those are probably your teams. One of them probably being like a first 4 team. And Arizona State gets the luxury of playing Utah and Colorado after a date with Stanford and Cal. Things aren't looking good, Jacob. Things are not looking good if you are an Arizona State basketball fan. But look, I'll tell you how you can change things. And you can change things by doing what I told you earlier and going getting some holiday scratchers from Arizona Lottery. There are scratchers for everybody on your list, even the people on your list that are as tall as Jacob Franklin. Guys, they've got scratchers that start at just a single dollar with top prizes up to $500,000. And I know there's people in the chat always talking about, well, how do we get players? How do we do this? How do we do that? Well, maybe you go buy yourself an Arizona Lottery scratcher. Maybe you get yourself a top prize, and maybe you send some of that to the Sun Angel Collective. Or, look, who am I to tell you what to do with your money? Just spend it the way you'd like, guys. But Arizona Lottery is going to help you make some more of it. Tickets do make the perfect stocking stuffer, though, as well. Go out, buy your holiday scratchers today. Find a retailer like our friends over at Circle K near you at ArizonaLottery.com. You do got to be 21 or older to play. Now, look, I know I told you earlier that I wasn't going to tell you what to do with your money, but I'm going to go back on that about 15 seconds after I said it, because when you make some money, winning money tends to make me a little hungry, right? And I'm somebody, when I got the money to spend, I don't want to like sit in my kitchen and cook something. I really should, but how can I beat Illegal Pete's? You just can't. You can't beat the vibes. You can't beat the burritos. You can't beat the customer service in the margs that they have at their Tempe or Tucson location. They're your go-to spot this holiday season, from caterings to gift cards. They have the perfect gift for everyone at your holiday party. And Jacob can attest to this because he's had it. Illegal Pete's Margarita, some of the strongest and tastiest in Arizona.
I might need a strong margarita. Like, I might need a strong margarita right now, for sure.
I could use a margarita right now, for sure. I see. Again, I'm not here for just taking pulls of Tito's on a Wednesday. You give me a nice margarita, I'm down in it. I'm having a good time, right? And that's exactly what they've got for you over at Illegal Pete's. Whether you're shopping for a margarita maniac, or a queso connoisseur, Illegal Pete's is your one-stop shop to spread the cheer. Grab $100 in Illegal Pete's gift cards and get an extra $25 gift card for free. Looking for some fun stocking stuffers? Check out their holiday merch sale. All t-shirts are just $15 through the end of the year. Jacob, normally when we're on post-game shows, we'll talk back and forth every now and then about the game, but I feel like I get the majority of your thoughts on the game as the game's going on. I'd love to take the time, with the holiday cheer going on, the holiday season. You got your Christmas tree in the back. I'm pretty sure you're standing up. You're just as tall as that Christmas tree right now. Just what were your thoughts on Arizona State's 19-point loss to Northwestern?
I'm pretty sure I text you the same things every single game, because I think once a game I send you a Alonzo Gaffney's really, really bad text.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely.
And then I think tonight I said Bobby probably doesn't deserve this job anymore, which, like, I'm not somebody that covers the team on a daily basis. I don't know what it looks like at practice, but man, this team looks like they don't practice.
Right? Isn't that bad?
That's where we're at. Like, every single time I watch this basketball team, I'm like, it's a rec league team. Like, this is the team that you would have seen at like the freaking rec center at ASU, like when you were a student there and you'd go play some pickup basketball. That's about what I'm watching every single night.
It's bad. It's bad. Look, Donald's in the chat saying,
It's
I'm
not
jealous.
good.
I don't get a text, Totri. Donald, you get a text me. It's just called the PHNX Diehard Discord, man. That's exactly what it is. We're in there all the time. Donald's in there. Sharon's in there. We got some more folks in the chat in there. And if you are not a PHNX Diehard yet, it's the same vibes, the same community that we have going on social media throughout these shows. Just head over to gophnx.com today. There's a little tab that says Diehard, and there's going to be a bunch of little things that are locked. Go unlock them by becoming a diehard. One of the great things that you are going to unlock is that diehard Discord. We're always chatting in there about ASU football, basketball, hockey, volleyball, recruiting, everything going on in the diehard Discord. Check it out. Just $79.99 for the year. And you're going to get a free t-shirt once a year. You're going to get discounts on merch, discounts on events. You're going to get diehard only content. You're going to get it all. Go over again, gophnx.com, become a diehard today. A couple more things before we call it a night. One of those things is OGs. I tell you about it just about every single time we do one of these podcasts, because usually they're a little later when we're doing some of these post-game shows. And ASU basketball lately tends to put me in a bad mood. So how do I go to bed upset? Well, the answer is I don't. I just pop in OGs. I scroll on my phone and I laugh like a little kid playing with like butterflies in the park. That's what I do when I have OGs. You guys too can have some Christmas fun with OGs. Unwrap the merry, bright, and downright delicious gift of OGs gummies this holiday season. Whether you're gifting a friend or treating yourself, OGs is the ultimate holiday hack for peace and mouth-watering cheer. With a variety of bold flavors, OGs gummies are a slam dunk for your taste buds. Plus, you can customize your experience based on desired effect and strength. Now, if you're an Arizona State fan and you're trying to customize effect and strength, I would say get the strongest and most effective gummies out there, because you need them. To learn more about OG's mouthwatering options and upcoming deals, head on over to ogsbrands.com. Now, look, this is a little bit more of a unique post-game show because we're in my apartment. Jacob's in his lovely home with a lovely Christmas tree like a real adult, and I don't have my sunglasses on. I feel kind of naked without my Shady Rays. I leave those in the car. That way I never forget them when I'm on the road and when I'm at PHNX Studios. I always got to have my Shady Rays on because they really are top-notch sunglasses, the best sunglasses out there. You guys, too, can have a pair. Shop the entire collection at their brand-new location, Carolyn Commons, a full-stop shop for all things Shady Rays. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There is no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use that code PHNX for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Now, if you're an ASU fan, wearing some of those sunglasses might be the right thing to do to hide from all of what you have to watch as an ASU basketball fan. You're out on the court, you got your Shady Rays on. People can't tell. People can't tell that you're paying attention to the game. They're just like, damn, they're looking super cute with those Shady Rays. That's exactly what people are saying when you're wearing Shady Rays. Isn't that right, Jacob?
Mm-hmm. I get told I look cute all the time.
Yeah, it's because you're wearing Shady Rays, man. It's just what you do. It's what Jacob does. Okay? Look, I don't know how many likes we're at now, but if we hit 30, I'll take a poll from that vile vodka. But if we're not,
I don't know if we're going to hit 30. I think we're at like 15.
You're not going to hear me complain about it. You're not going to hear me complain about it. Before we get to the final segment, Jacob, what was the result of that poll?
It was 32 votes in total, and 75% of people believe that Bobby Hurley is indeed on the hot seat.
Well, I would have to agree with all of those folks. The 75% that said Bobby Hurley is in the hot seat. Would you say the same, Jacob?
Yeah, definitely. Like, here's the thing. I've been texting people for the last 3 years that I thought the man should be on the hot seat, but
nobody wants to listen to Jacob. Tall man Franklin, Donald in the chat. Is Jacob like 6'9"? What are you, 6'7", 6'8"?
6'7". Yeah, 6'7".
Yeah, Jacob's a tall man. And the reason we have Jacob, the tall man here, is so that he can hit the lights off, because it is closing time. The bar is officially starting to close. Let's go ahead, take a look at the takeaways from tonight's game. 3 words. Burn it down. Arizona State with 3 straight losses now. Bobby Hurley unable to get his team to rally after a 5-point loss to San Diego. A team once up 14 on TCU, lost by 20. And then you look at tonight's game, a 19-point loss against Northwestern. Guys, that is going to do it for tonight's PHNX Sun Devils postgame show. If you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow DJ Jacob Franklin at Jacob_Franklin4. And we will see you guys Thursday, 12:30 p.m. Be back at normal time. We're going to be talking ASU football. We're going to hear from Coach Kenny Dillingham himself. But in the meantime, have a beautiful evening. Go Devils, and peace.
We all silly like the mayor.